Indiana softball fans. I'm Nate Weekers, filling in for Dave Leno this week as he is a student and still needs to attend class here as he's a senior. So fill in his shoes this weekend, coming off a successful weekend last weekend, a sweep against Wisconsin, Sunday's dramatic win on the Big Ten Network, and then a nice 3-0 win yesterday. Just talk about the confidence the team has here as they go into another Big Ten weekend.
Well, I think starting with last weekend, it's enormous when we give up, a couple runs, actually early in both games, and, we found a way to win on Saturday. Sarah Olson had a game-winning hit that scored a run, which was amazing in the seventh inning of the first game. And then on Sunday, we're seventh inning, we're down 3-2, and we just put some real big things together to have bases loaded with no outs, and Amanda Wagner came up and absolutely crushed a ball to win us a ball game. And I've kind of said it all along, it's going to take everybody, and Wagner's coming around, which we needed, and then we've got great pitching performances, and Sarah Olson's now being walked, but other people are stepping up and doing what they need to do. And the bottom line is Morgan had 21 strikeouts on Saturday, and which is an amazing feat by itself, but she also gave up a run early, and we had to battle back, and we're finding a way to get it done. And to me, that's what I like seeing, coming into Michigan State this weekend. But then we go out yesterday and again had a great performance, had scored 3 runs, didn't really get hit up too bad, and I think she gave up 2 hits, but we're still finding a way to. We had runners on most of the game, so I really felt like at any point in that game we were going to score, but we got our 3, and 2 in one inning, 1 in another. So I feel good about where we are and in preparation for this weekend.
And the first 2 runs that we scored were with 2 outs. A good sacrifice bunt by Samantha Heyman to get the runner into scoring position, and then Bree delivered with a hit, took the extra base on the throw home, and then she scored on a single by Ashley Warm. So you talked about Sarah Olson being solid in the middle of the lineup, but we've also had a number of different players step up. You mentioned Amanda Wagner, Samantha Brenner's hit a home run in the last couple weeks, Samantha Heyman a hit at Penn State to win a game. Just talk about, it seems the team's been able to come through in the late innings. Is anything special, or they're just sticking to the game plan, doing what we want to do?
Well, I think they're sticking to the game plan. I think they've, when you win, you get a little confidence, and I think that's a big factor. I think everyone on our team has confidence that they can get it done at any time. And a few times I think there were, spots where we could have maybe scored earlier. Obviously this weekend I felt that way. We had a couple bases loaded innings and they got out of it. But, I really do feel like everybody in the lineup is stepping up. Kelsey Stander had a good day yesterday. So, I totally agree with you. It's kind of been spread out around the field a little bit, but that's the way it should be, because we talk about Morgan's strikeouts and the thing that she's doing, but we still do have to play defense, and we still have to be able to score runs. And Morgan helped herself yesterday too. She was 3 for 3, and so I think it's the hitting's kind of just getting spread out like we would have wanted to see maybe a little earlier, but they're doing it now.
Now is as good a time as any.
Absolutely.
Going a little bit further with Morgan yesterday, she put her name in the Indiana record books even further with. She now has 375 strikeouts this year, passing Amy Unterbrink's single-season record of 370, and we still have 10, 12 more games at least to go. So let's talk about Morgan and her consistency. It almost seems like she's getting stronger as the year's going on.
And I do feel like that. I think Morgan, Morgan has a special talent, and she can make the ball move and at a good speed, and things happen. It doesn't hurt that she's left-handed, because that's a little different angle, but that, to me, it's a record that has stood since 1986. So it's a pretty amazing feat, and I do believe she's getting stronger as we go on. And, the bottom line is we are in a great shape as a team, and I think that has a lot to do with how we're doing down the stretch, because, we've had a long run, and it's going to get even longer as the next couple weeks come up, because we have some pretty tough competition in the next 3 weeks, and we've just got to go out there, and Morgan has to just keep doing what she's doing and not try to do more than what she's capable of, and then our team has to keep playing behind her and find a way to score runs.
And before she got the record, actually earlier in the week, she was named Big Ten Pitcher of the Week for the 3rd straight week, just the 5th pitcher in Big Ten history to do that, and also received USA Softball's National Player of the Week. So a national honor on top of it, and people been a couple articles on the internet too, people talking about Indiana softball, and that's got to be great for you in your third year here to have kind of Indiana back on the map here.
Well, and obviously it is real important to me. That was, one thing that I wanted to do in taking over this program. And, it's funny because in one of the polls this week we were even receiving some votes, which is the first time for the season. And, I have believed that we were that good all along. I think my staff's believed that. And, now my team's starting to believe it. And that makes a difference. But now we have to go to work, because now no one's just going to lay down for us. And that's the bottom line, is we've got to keep coming out and competing every single game and every single day, and they've really stuck to that.
And then kind of going back to Morgan a little bit, but not really, kind of the unsung hero, if you will, in the lineup and defensively. Cassie Gogreve caught all but 8 innings, I believe, this year. So far, she's back there every day, getting banged up a little bit, but as catchers tend to do. Talk how her transition with Morgan, it seems, from my opinion, it looks like it's been seamless. They've come in from day one and just meshed right away.
Well, I think Cassie's a great catcher, and I think for Morgan to be successful, she needs a great catcher. You look at it anywhere, and most great pitchers have a great catcher behind there. She frames pitches well. She's keeps things in front of her. She makes good things happen, and not to mention she throws out runners, because I think that's been something that's been a little overlooked too, is that we haven't had a ton of steals against us, or even attempts, because she has thrown out a lot of runners. So she is, to me, the catalyst, or maybe the glue that kind of holds everything together, because Morgan's very tough to handle.
All right, and we gave our opinions on Cassie. Now we'll talk to Cassie here and see how she feels her season's going and things that she likes to focus with on the field.
All right, we're here with junior catcher Cassie Gogreve, and you've done a lot of interviews this year talking about Morgan. Now we're going to kind of talk about you a little bit and the great job you've been doing behind the plate. First of all, you've been workhorse behind the plate, catching all the innings but 8 so far this year. It comes to about 285. Just talk a little bit about the daily routine that you go through as a catcher. What goes into being able to do that every day?
I mean, as far as being a workhorse, I think that's what anybody would want on a team. I think that's the best thing, to be able to catch every inning, and to have coach have enough confidence in me to let me catch every inning. And I think that's what any catcher would ask for. And as far as preparation, I think that, in the fall and early spring, I really had to get my legs ready to do this. I really had to lift a lot and do a lot of cardio and stay in good shape as far as that goes, because especially in the early tournament season, it was just so many innings in a row and in a weekend that I was just drained by the end. And yeah, so that's pretty much it.
All right, and then having done that all the time, fans that come out and watch, you can see you always bring a lot of energy behind the plate, having fun. Just talk about that aspect, keeping the infield focused, but also keeping everybody on the same page and having fun as well.
Well, as far as keeping focus and having fun at the same time, I think that's the epitome of Morgan's game. So for her, she can't get too tense and she can't get too pressed, because that's how it is for a lot of pitchers, but especially her, I've noticed. And so I do have to keep her focused, but then have a great time with her too. And that's what really makes her successful, and I think makes our entire team successful. And I just love having energy on defense. I think that's what makes the game worth it, and makes the hard work worth it.
Then also kind of going to the plate a little bit, batting in the middle of the order, the middle of the lineup has been very good the last couple games and a couple weeks, actually, coming on strong. Just talk about the improvements the lineup has made, with Sarah getting walked all the time, putting pressure on you guys, and you guys in the middle of the order have come through.
I think that having those walks happen has made our mental game really strong, and also our selfless play very strong. Sarah takes the walks and we get the base hits, so it's I think that's really important to team play.
Going back to the catching, you've thrown out a number of runners. Last year you were one of the top catchers in the country at throwing out runners. This year hardly anybody's running against you. Just, do you enjoy the competition of trying to throw somebody out that thinks they can steal? Just go through the mental process when you see someone take off from first base.
I think it's the most thrilling thing in my life because I just it's the best feeling, and I I think that's like the strongest aspect of my mental game. I just have the utmost confidence in my ability to throw out anybody, and I don't even need to think about it anymore. It just comes, which is so nice.
When you do it, people that have seen you play, you throw kind of from your knees, don't stand up and throw like a traditional catcher. Where did you learn that? Did someone teach you that, or did you just pick it up somewhere? Or how did that start? Because that certainly improves the speed of the ball getting down to second base.
Right. It kind of just happens. It's always been an option for me, and at my old school, it was strictly like off the feet, like get up and footwork sort of things. And since travel ball, it's always just something that like I would depend on the pitch, or like I would do pickoffs off my knees. So here, just the moment I came here, I wanted to do that, and I told them I did, and so that's what ended up happening. Also, it has to do with the strength of my arm too. Like I think before I had surgery, I didn't really have enough strength to get the ball off my knees, and now I do, so I can do that. It's much faster.
All right, well, thanks very much, Cass, and good luck the rest of the
Thank
season.
you.